Hey guys, it's me, Mr. 250, and welcome back to Steins Gate. The last thing we were doing was getting prepared to go for our time leap with the goal of fixing the time machine, so let's begin with that. Well, before Mayuri returns, I leap. Wow. If I knew it was going to be quite this quick, I would have probably done that before I left. Oh well. But what I believe is... Oh yeah, and someone had asked at some point, they said, how does Curse know that 48 hours is the amount of time that you can go back, is like the maximum amount of time? Well, we don't know for certain, but the thought process is that after 48 hours, your memories and your personality would be too far apart to easily attach, and you could have really bad issues with your mind, and it might not even complete. You might cease to exist in terms of your head. Like, it's kind of weird, so to speak. Anyway, when I come to, I'm standing with my phone in hand. While I wait for the ringing in my ears to subside, I check the date and time on my phone screen. August 11th, 2:21 p.m. Alright, now I have 2 more days. As a matter of fact, I leapt twice. First to 2 p.m. on the 13th, when the machine was completed. From there, I leapt an additional 48 hours to 2 p.m. on the 11th. It was my first consecutive time leap, but it seems to have gone well. I immediately head downstairs to see Suzuha. I'm relieved to see that her hand isn't burned. When I explain the situation, Suzuha races to Radio Kaikan to confirm my story. After she realizes that I'm telling the truth, I take her back to the lab and have her repeat the explanation she gave us before I time leaped. We come to the conclusion that all we can do right now is try our best to repair Suzuha's time machine. Well, I'm glad we came to that conclusion so quickly instead of wasting all our time. Daru is unusually enthusiastic. I guess Suzuha's talk of attractor fields and divergence in correcting history's mistakes got his blood pumping. Mayuri stops us as we're about to leave the lab. Oh, this is the day right after that, isn't it? Oh, right. I thought Suzuha was lying about that. But when I turn to her, she looks away. When I show reluctance, Mayuri puffs out her cheeks. What promise? That's right. We convinced her to stay by promising to help look for her father. If Mayuri feels that strongly about it, then there's no way I can refuse. Suzuha sniffles.
その通りだよ。この町に来れば会えると思ったの。父さんはさ、2010年に秋葉原にいたことは分かってるんだ。
本当にいるのか？
いるよ。失礼だな。この時代ならきっとまだ若くてかっこいいね。
Probably still young and cool.
名前はバレルタイターだったか。
うん、そう。
ああ、外国人さん？
うん、多分日本人。バレルタイターはレジスタンス時代のコードネームだから、今の2010年の時点だとまだそう名乗ってないと思う。
So that's why Suzaha called herself John Titor.
父さんの本名はさ、実の娘なのにね。
Suzaha looks like she's about to cry for an instant, but she quickly covers it with a bitter smile.
教えてくれなかったし、聞かせてもらう前に死んじゃったから。
では、
Oh,
アマネという名はどこから？
母さんのせいだよ。
つまり手がかりはなし。
手がかり。あ、そういえば。
Suzaha claps her hands together and starts patting her pockets. A few seconds later, she reaches into one and pulls out a pin.
ピンバッジ？
I've seen Suzaha fiddling with it before. It's just a regular pin, the kind you stick on your hat or bag.
なんか書いてあるよ。
It reads, Oshism star star star, a 7010.
これ父さんの形見なんだよね。
形見？
誰？ググってみろ。
Dara runs a search, but gets only incomprehensible foreign sites.
父さんは秋葉原周辺にいたらしいからさ、海外のサイトは抜きにして考えていいと思う。
日本語で OK ってことか。
He narrows the search down to Japanese sites. But even then, none of the results look relevant.
全然わかんねえ。
でも、これはきっとヒントになるよ。
With Suzaha's permission, I take a picture of the pin.
All I've got to go on is this one clue. It's a pin he used to wear.
というわけで、すずさんのお父さん探しに賛成の人。
I want to argue that there's no time for that, but Mayuri's right when she says that the time machine won't be ready for a while. I guess there's no harm in letting her have her way. After all, there's no point in running, not even with 2 days head start. Even if I dragged Mayuri to the ends of the earth, we wouldn't be able to escape her death. I know that now.
反対はしない。
おかりんありがとう。
Dara raises his hand in agreement. So does Kurisu. It's decided. We'll help Suzaha find her father.
みんなサンキュー。でも私はあくまで1975年へ行くことを優先したい。それが父さんの意思だったからさ。ってなわけで、タイムマシン修理のめどが立ったら父さんを探すのは諦めるってことでどうかな。
それでいいの？
そんだけ探して見つかんないならさ、つまり会える運命になかったってことだと思うし。
It's a relief to hear Suzaha say that.
で、どうやって探すん？
ピンバッジしかヒントはないのだ。これを元にするしかないだろう。餅は餅屋とも言うし、マニアなショップを当たってみるか。
マニアなショップって？
秋葉にはマニア御用達のアンダーグラウンドなショップが数多くあるだろう。
It's hard to sneak into Radio Kaikan in the daytime. There isn't a crowd out front like before, but pedestrian traffic remains constant. It takes us about 30 minutes to find a way in. Kurisu is back at the lab, working on the time leap machine. It needs to be complete by 2 p.m. on the 13th. If she's late, it could affect my ability to time leap, which would lower my chances of saving Mayuri. Speaking of Mayuri, she wandered off somewhere in search of Suzuha's father.
どうだ
I called Adaru, who's examining the flooded satellite, time machine, while Suzuha and I keep a lookout. Daru crawls out of the machine. He's covered in sweat and his breathing is heavy. We quickly help pull his huge body out. The time machine is completely visible from the street. If someone were to see us up here, they might report us to the police. It's been 2 weeks since the satellite appeared, but Akiba still has tourists who come just to see it. We need to take care not to be noticed.
この中むちゃくちゃ暑い件について蒸し風呂ってレベルじゃねえぞ。この炎天下でマシンの中にいたら干物になるねマジで。
And no one wants Daru jerky.
ちなみにこのマシンバランス崩して下に落ちたりしないよな。
Probably not. The time machine is balanced precariously on the ledge, but the police have hooked up support wires, so Daru probably has nothing to worry about.
治りそう？
いやまだ確証はないけど、でもさちょっと触ってみて気づいたんだよね。これってなんか電話レンジと似てるかもって。
じゃあ直せる可能性もあるんだな。
いやだから確証はないって、もうちょっと調べないと。
誰よ、スーパーハカーよ。全てはお前の腕にかかっていると言っていい。世界を救ったスーパーハカー、お前は2036年においてタイムマシンの母マキセ・クリスに代わり人々から崇め奉られることになるだろう。
ハカーじゃなくてハッカーって言えっつってんだろう。
とにかく2日で何とかしてくれ、ダル。
I place my hand on Daru's shoulder and look straight into his eyes.
お前だけが頼りなんだ。
自信はないよ。そもそもなんで2日なん？
それは
Because that's when Mayuri will die. But I can't say that.
2日後がさ、リング得意点を作るのに一番いい気象条件なんだよ。それを逃すとあと1年は次のチャンスがないわけ。
Nice excuse, Suzuha.
そうだ、そういうことだ。
2日で直せとか無茶言うなっつーの。
ならばそんなお前にフェイリスと1日デートできる権利をやる。やってくれるな。
Oh man, he knows what works on Daru.
いいですとも。
Great. Now I just need to figure out how I'm going to convince Ferris. Oh Shizm A 7010. We're searching for something with the same cryptic logo as this mysterious pen. Honestly, I didn't think it would be this difficult. Akiba has plenty of niche stores, but they're all for electronic goods and PC parts. There aren't that many selling accessories like Suzuha's pin. I actually have that pin. When I got this game, I got the special super fancy edition, which came with 2 of those pins. One that looked like that and one that's a little bit different, which when we get to the end of the story, because it's not a huge spoiler, but it might slightly spoil the story, so I'm going to wait till we get to the end, and then I was going to scan a bunch of it and put it into a video, if anyone's interested. Anyway, we check everyone we can find, but come up empty-handed. None of the store employees have any idea where it came from either. We even check nearby neighborhoods like Uneo and Asakusa. Nothing. Suzuha and I return to the lab with heavy hearts.
おかえり。
Kurisu emerges from the development room to greet us. She's alone.
その顔じゃ成果はなしか。
ダルは
戻ってない。暗くなったし直接帰ったんじゃない？
It's too dark to work at Radio Kaikan now. We can't use lights because that would be too conspicuous to the people below. Mayuri isn't around, Is she making any progress in the search for Suza's father?
なんか悪いね。こんなことしてる場合じゃないのにさ。
お前のためではない。すべてはマユリを助けるためだ。
I start up Daru's computer and search the net for communities of people who collect unique pins. I'll investigate tomorrow based on the information I find. There's a pin collecting group on a site called Free Para, where everyone shows off their collections. I post there asking for information. Oh, what's that? I'm sleeping on the couch when a loud alarm rings in my ears.
セルンの襲撃
I jump up and see Kurisu and Suzaha. Kurisu is holding her phone. That's the source of the sound.
Good morning.
Her sour expression says it's not good at all. I wish she'd put herself in my shoes and see what it's like to be woken up suddenly like that. I check the time on my phone. It's just before 7 a.m.
起こしてくれたのか。助かる。
別にモーニングコールしたわけじゃない。
岡部倫太郎に見てほしいものがあってさ、起こしてもらったの。
I realize that there's a strange object sitting on the table in front of me.
これは
Now you guys have seen this during the D-mail, you've seen these numbers.
ダイバージェンスメーター。今、私たちがいるこの世界線がどこなのかを数値で表すことができるんだよ。
The meter displays 0.337187%.
私がもともといた2036年の世界線を 0% とした数値だから、あくまで相対的なものなんだけどさ。
作ったのか。
ううん、2036年から持ってきた。
うん。これはニキシー缶だな。いいセンスだ。未来ガジェット9号に認定したいぐらいだ。
Does look pretty cool, doesn't it?
The divergence number indicates a given world line's latitude on a continuum, so to speak. The only way to keep track of it is this, the trusty divergence meter.
Nixie tubes. My hat's off to the taste of its inventor.
これ一体どういう仕組みなの？世界線の数値化なんて可能とは思えない。
Suzaha shrugs.
私もわかんない。
わからない。
これ作ったの誰か知ってる？
How should I know?
君だよ。岡部倫太郎。
Oh, interesting. Now, a few things about that. First off, I really love how those Nixie tubes look. They look so cool. There's actually a kit you can buy online where you can make a Steins Gate-esque, like, clock, or you can use it to do anything, but one of the popular uses is a clock. Unfortunately, it's like $200 for the kit, and it's DIY, which means I'd have to break out a soldering iron and do a bit of work. So probably not going to happen in the near future, but it's super cool looking.
は？
君が作った。確か今から11年後ぐらいに君の持ってる特殊な力を応用させたらしいよ。
In fact, I think the website ThinkGeek is the one that sells it. One of them anyway. I know other places do, but I think they're the ones that sell the kit. Anyway, sorry, back to the game.
そうなのか。
このメーターがあれば岡部以外でも世界線の変動を確認できる。そういうことか。
違う。多分ここに表示されてる数値が変化してもそれに気づけるのは岡部倫太郎だけ。
Yeah, that's true, because everyone else the number would always stay the same.
は？それじゃあ意味ないじゃない。もっとまともなもの作りなさいよ、岡部。
I ignore Kursu's complaints and look at the meter again. This is something I made. 15 years have passed since I completed it. 11 years will pass before I complete it. It's a strange feeling.
これの仕組みは作った本人しか知らない。だから知りたかったら11年待つしかないかな。そうすれば自分で答えを見つけられるはずだから。
未来で俺と会ったのか。
She did say I was an infamous terrorist in 2036. For some reason, Suza's expression darkens momentarily.
一度もないよ。
そうか。で、このメーターを今ここで俺に見せた意味は？
メーターの数値が 1% を超えたとき、君はベータ世界線にたどり着いたことになる。
And that's what's important for us to know if we're making progress or not towards our end goal of getting to a different attractor field, I believe is what it is. And in the anime, they actually explain this in a slightly different order, so if you notice any clips that seem kind of out of order, it's because they explain this divergence meter thing, like, back whenever we found Suzaha's time machine and found out that she was John Teeter. That's when they explained the divergence meter in the anime rather than right now. So, if you're wondering why the clips look a little backwards, that's why.
1%?
そう。1% を突破さえできたら、椎名真由里は助けられるっていうこと。
I stare at the glowing red numbers. They don't budge. Just another 0.6%. It seems so easy. But there are 6 digits after the decimal point, and no tens place. What does that mean? Something tells me it won't be easy as it looks.
これは君にあげる。どうせ私が持ってても意味ないしね。有意義に使ってよ。
Alright, cool. So we got a cool little Nixie tube thing. Those things look so cool. Like, they seriously do. I love those things. Based on recommendations from the BBS thread, I spend the morning visiting stores in Akiba. My destinations run the gamut from otaku stores packed with anime goods to souvenir shops full of Olympic memorabilia. I even visit a few that specialize in locally manufactured goods. But although I hit just about every kind of store that could be considered niche, I am unable to find anything that resembles Suzaha's pin. Maybe I should go all the way to Ikebukuro or Nakano. I start heading back to the lab, but just then, a street vendor catches my eye. Oh man, is this the same one from the anime? This is gonna be so good if it is. The storekeeper is a foreigner covered in tattoos. The table next to him is covered with accessories and other fashion items. This is the first time I've seen such a stylish street stand in Akiba. Most vendors just sell random junk. It's not like I have anything to lose, so I walk over and check out the selection. Among the various accessories, I see a number of metal pins. What a coincidence. Could he have a pin like Suzaha's? I don't see the logo on any of the displayed accessories, but I better ask just to be sure. He's a foreigner, so maybe I should use English? Our eyes meet. His are as bright and blue as the sky. I quickly look away. Darn, he must think I'm a coward. Better get this over with.
Hey, Master! I am Mad Scientist. So cool! Son of a bitch!
Yep.
Hi, 何ですか?
He smiles a wide toothy smile, nice teeth, and answers in Japanese. I was hoping for more of a reaction.
ちょっと聞きたいことがある。
Yeah, and I'm gonna show actually both the English dubbed and the English subbed versions of that in the anime because they're both quite humorous.
How's it hanging? I'ma bust out some questions, yo, so holla at ya, boy! Word to your mother.
Sorry, I don't speak jive.
Well, that was nice and awkward.
I can't believe you just said word to your mother to this guy, you freak.
Hey, Master. I am Mad Scientist. It's so cool! Son of a bitch!
はい、何ですか?
日本語で OK か。
I take the photocopy of Suzaha's pin out of my pocket.
これに見覚えが?
The man stares at it for a while, then shrugs and shakes his head in the exaggerated manner typical of Westerners.
これの出所が知りたい。調べることはできないか?
思い出し。sorry。ちょっと難しいですね。
What is he saying?
By the way、これはどこで手に入れたものなんですか？
それを知りたい。報酬は出す。
ごめんなさい。
He apologizes in broken Japanese. It looks like this is another dead end. Just in case, I give him my contact information and ask him to get in touch if he finds out anything. Then I turn to leave.
岡部倫太郎。
Suza's standing a short distance away. She's holding a drink. It's my favorite, Dr. P. No, wait, that's cola.
Please. 飲む？
I accept the offer and quench my thirst while leaning on the roadside fence. Last time I saw her, Suza was on the way to Canada to continue the search. Kanda? How long is it... Oh man, I butchered that word. How long has she been standing here?
成果は？
なし。それよりさっきの英語何？なんかバカっぽかった。そうクールって。この時代だとああいう英語が標準なの？
そんなわけあるか。
そうなんだ。じゃあ岡部倫太郎オリジナルか。私の生まれた時代にはさ海外旅行なんてなかったからよくわかんないんだよね。
海外旅行がない？行ったことがないではなく？
そう、旅行なんて娯楽はなかったな。渡航許可はめったに下りなかったし、だから外国人を見たのはこの時代に来てから。
So in the future, no one is allowed to leave Japan? Japan was like that a few centuries ago too, when the Tokugawa shogunate closed the country to the west. It sounds like CERN set international relations back hundreds of years. Perhaps that's why there's no war in Suza's time. It's hard for conflicts to emerge when races and cultures can't interact. It sounds kind of like a prison with invisible walls, guarded by CERN and the Committee of 300. I mean, ending war is obviously a good thing, but... Anyway, there's no point in thinking about the distant future now. We need to come up with a new plan. The sunlight beats on my head, making it hard to think. I feel like I'm standing in a sauna. Why does the sun hate me so much? I ask myself that every day, Okabe. Shining in the center of the sky like he owns the place. Darn, why can't we find any information on that pin? I suppose it's no skin off my back if we don't find Suza's father. As long as Daru fixes the time machine, nothing else matters. So why do I feel so bad about my lack of progress? I really don't know. Maybe I'm just frustrated by my own powerlessness. I can't save Mayuri. I can't fix Suza's time machine. I can't even help Kursu with the time leap upgrade. So what am I good for? The only thing I can do is help Suza find her father.
もしかして近年中に作られるピンバッジなんだろうか。まだできていないとか。
I think that would be a smart assumption, considering that she came from the future. Suza stretches, then looks at me with a calm smile.
やっぱさ父さんとは会えない運命なんだって。こんだけ探してもないんだからもう無理全然無理だね。
I feel a surge of anger at her words. Here I am, stewing in self-loathing, and she acts like it doesn't matter?
諦めるのか。まだあと1日残っているぞ。
何起こってんの？
みんなお前のためを思って頑張っているのだと分かっているのか。俺だってマユリを助けることを何より優先したいんだ。それでもお前はラボメンであり仲間だ。その仲間が困っているから助けたい。そんなマユリの気持ちを汲んでこうして探しているのに、お前が真っ先に諦めてどうする。
怒鳴んないでよ。
あまり 俺を萎えさせるな。
I tell myself to calm down. This is just my own feelings of impotence boiling over. There's no time for this.
悪かったよ。でも君さ、言い方が上から目線すぎると思うよ。
I realize that we have an audience. Some pedestrians are grinning at us, like they think we're a bickering couple or something. I take a deep breath.
言い過ぎたのなら謝る。
It's too awkward to make eye contact. So I look around, pretending to think.
さて、これからどうするか。
I wonder how the other lab mims are progressing. I'm especially concerned about Daru. Depending on the situation, he might need some relief. He's been working in that heat for hours, so we should bring him something cold to drink. And then, there's Mayuri. She's been working alone, trying to find some information on Suza's father. If I close my eyes, I can still recall her deaths in every detail. I resist the urge to pound my head against the wall. Although we still have over 24 hours before that happens, I can't help but worry about leaving her alone. But currently, all I can do is search for that pin. We decided to try Ikebukuro as our last stop for today, and we're going to stop there. Next time we'll learn a little bit more about this. And hopefully everyone gets everything built by time, because if Daru doesn't get that fixed, then we're going to need the time leap machine to try again. If the time leap machine doesn't get fixed, then we're really screwed. And if something happens to Mayuri, then Okabe will probably be very sad. Hopefully everything goes well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!